Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning or good evening, wherever you're coming from in this glorious world today. Now, we are slightly late, and I must apologize. Two reasons. Well, my amazing client that you can see in front of you right now has been busy all day. She's had a client to sell, so she needs a little bit of a break before she jumps on our call today, which I'm so grateful and thankful that she's given her time up to spend to shine some light on what we've done to help her to get this amazing sale. But also, I've actually just tried to go live, and Zoom told me that I could not go live on Facebook for some strange and crazy reason. Anyway, we've rectified that, and we are now live today. We are 13 minutes late, but what do they say? Never late than never, right? So we are here. Now, if you're catching me live, then let us know underneath this call, hashtag live. If you're catching this on a replay, hashtag replay, you know the drill. You've been on countless of lives before, so you don't need me to teach you what to do or to coach you on what to do. Why you do that is, one, to show me that you're showing up, but also as well, just to show the algorithm that you like this and you're favoring this. And also it helps to push this message out there to help other people as well. So if the conversation that we're having today with Mor is inspiring, empowering, motivating for you, then chances are it's also going to help others as well. So feel free to give us some loving, some likes, some hearts, and also just comment underneath. Right. So let me know if you can hear me live. I'm just going to do a quick audio check for myself, because the last thing I want to do is be ranting and raving and nobody can hear me. Right, I'm there. That's good. All audio is working and visuals are working. So what are we doing today? Well, over the last month, what we can see in front of us right now has produced some amazing results. And when clients produce results, I like to share those results. But it's not just about sharing the results, it's also about digging deep into the story, the backstory of what we do, how they got started, what we do, the experience that they're having, and share some insights, some golden nuggets on how those results was produced. So just before I really drill more and ask loads of questions, and I've got some questions, I've designed some questions that's going to really help you to not generate some results, but also to get you thinking. Let me just quickly introduce myself. So my name is Andrew Medlam. If you don't know me, if you're recently new to my world, for the last decade, which is a long time, right? For the last decade, I've been working with amazing coaches from all the way around the world at different levels, different stages in their business, different stages in different areas of their life as well. And I've been helping them to package their talents, package their knowledge, their expertise into a sellable premium price offer, so they can go out there into the marketplace and start selling that at a price point that makes them smile, that makes them happy, that helps them to start moving big steps towards them hitting their financial goals. And we help them to do that with ease. So we do that using low tech but high touch strategies. So that's me. I've been doing it for 10 years, right? That's a long time to actually be in business. Not many people actually survive in business that long. The statistics of people surviving in business today is very, very small, because they don't have the cash flow. And that's one of the reasons why clients come to me, because they don't have the cash flow, and we help them to inject large chunks of cash into their business, as we have done with Mor over this last month. So I'm not going to steal any more thunder. I'm not going to take the limelight. This is not about me. This is about my Rockstar client. And we have this bit of a banter between us that we call each other Rockstars. Truly, what I'm going to introduce now, Mor is a Rockstar. she's inspired me, she's motivated me, she's empowered me from the first time that we ever had connection on our first call. She's amazing. So Mor, I'm going to bring you to the stage. And can you first of all introduce yourself, tell everybody what it is you do and who you help?
After you introduce me with such good words, I'm like, oh, you can continue. That's fine. Well, thank you for your kind words. I'm working with, I'm an emotional therapist for the past 20 years. But in this time, I focused myself through our work in my target market, which is make things so much easier for me. So I work with highly driven professional women that wants to be a rock star in their personal life, because in their professional life, everything is working and everything is smooth. They're experiencing success, but in their personal life, they feel tired, they feel exhausted and detached from who they are. So this is what I do. I help them to connect to their desires, their dreams, and manifest, who they are, who they truly are.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So let's jump into, I know everybody here is I've been talking about that you close a 12K client and everybody's like, oh, I want to know how to close a 12K client. That's amazing. Bring that on all day long. It's all about money, 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 because majority coaches today, whilst they're amazing coaches, they're amazing what they're doing. When it comes to actually building that business, when it comes to actually generating that cash flow, they're stuck. So I know everybody wants to get to the conversation of let's talk money, let's talk strategy, which we're going to get there, right? But I'd like to give a little bit of context around a few things around the conversation, the topic, and start from back at the beginning. So if I was to ask you, before we started working together, what would you say was your biggest problem in generating the sales and the amount of money that you wanted to close at?
Good question, because there was many reasons, but I think the two major reasons that actually you helped me through them, and that made a huge difference. Mm-hmm. One, I thought, well, in my country, I'm from Israel. So in Israel, the money is shekel, which means it's the dollar is double four, meaning everything that I charge I always look at it through these eyes. And when we talked about it, you said, well, it has nothing to do with how much, what's the currency in your country. You're working with abroad, you're working with people that are earning in dollars or euro, whatever. Yeah. And you just have to decide what is your price. And this is something that I'm telling my clients all the time, mm-hmm. that they have to focus about what they want and their alignment, what is right for them. And you said, you gave me the I would say the permission that I can charge whatever I want. Whatever I want. Like there's no range of the price. I can decide that I want to take 5, 10, 20, whatever I believe that is my value, that I can truly stand behind this price. And then I gave myself the permission, and the number came up and I said, okay, this is the number, I'm going for it. So that was the first major thing to realize. And the second thing is that whatever I'm bringing to people has value. It's not only about me talking and doing whatever I want to do, and I'm doing this forever, like helping people, but truly understanding that in order for me to help as many people as possible, I have to start charging the amount of money that will help me manifest the things that I want in my private life. So I have the time with that money to help more and more people. And that gave me a really sense of, I would say a mission. I don't know if that's the right word, or a vision. It's add to my vision that I have to sell. And it's for them. It's not me being greedy. It's not me being pushy, or, that's me giving people what I'm here to give.
I love it. Absolutely. I think you shared a lot of wisdom there. The first thing that you pointed that you touched upon, which I like to just emphasize a little bit. So many coaches, and it sounds like you did the same as well, is like you let the outside world govern the amount of money that you could charge for your
Yeah.
service that you're providing and for the results that you're
Yeah.
providing as well, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of coaches do this. It's a natural thing. Is like they'll look at their marketplace and they'll say, well, I'm living in, for example, Israel or some other part of the world where potentially economics isn't that great. Or they'll look at their marketplace and they'll say, well, you know, this person's charging this, or this person's charging this, and this person's charging this. So maybe I should like sit somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And they'll let in outside influencers dictate their worth, dictate their price points, and dictate like how long it's actually going to take them or the level of work that they need to do in actually to get as many sales as they need to achieve the goals that they want, the financial goals that they want. And you saw like you absolutely like hammered on the nail there. It's less about them, it's more about you. Because there's people in the world that will pay a low ticket. There's people in the world that will pay, like you've like quoted 12, well, you've got 12,000. There's people in the world that will be paying £25,000 for something that you did, $25,000 for what you're offering. You dictate your prices. It starts with you.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. Another question is like you have, I remember us having a conversation, if I go like way back before we started working, we had a conversation in Messenger. I think that this might have been after the call. And I remember you saying something along the lines of, I haven't done anything in business since we had our call because I now feel stuck. Because you were saying that you thought you were doing the right things, you've learned off other people, you're following their footsteps. Now we had this call. And, you know, for everybody that's watching or everybody's grabbing this on replay, you didn't sign up on the first call, right?
No, I
You
didn't.
signed up later on, right?
Yeah.
So you weren't what people call like a one sales close. So, but I remember I was having a conversation in Messenger after like in my follow-up sequence. And you said, I have not done anything in business since our conversation because I either sent your mind on a spin or something. What were happening in that time frame and what caused that? Can you remember?
Of course. So I've been working with a lot of trainers or mentors throughout the years. I truly believe that to invest money in myself is the best possible way. And I'm really excellent in what I do, but I wasn't really bad at marketing and understanding what should I do. And I work with many coaches, and I would say similar to you, but very different than you.
Right.
And all the tools that I got and all the conversation that I had about marketing said one thing, something very complicated, something that I felt that I wasn't resonate with that at all. I meant it wasn't something that I would say to someone that I'm working with. It's not the way I think or I see the world. And in our conversation, our first breakthrough call, clarity call, I don't know how you call this. I really thought I'm not going to work with you because I didn't have the money for it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually sold my car in order to start. I actually wanted to start. And why is that? Because in our conversation, you flipped my mind. I was sure I'm just going to have another nice conversation with someone and maybe take a small thing from this. I didn't thought that I would start working with you, and I didn't start that it's going to affect whatever I'm doing so fast. But after I closed the conversation with you, I said, he was so accurate in what he said. It was so simple. The strategy and the mindset behind everything was so simple. And it was like, why everybody's complicated everything? Why I have to make 10 offers to people when I'm offering one thing?
Yeah.
Why do I have to invent myself and not be authentic to who I am when I'm marketing? It feels like a lie. And what you said is be who you are, be very accurate with what you're offering, and who you are will just, I don't know the word for that. People will see who you are because you are authentic to who you are.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it the right way in English, but
No, absolutely. Yeah, totally.
yeah.
So again, I remember the conversation, and what I saw, what I felt and found is that more overcomplicating business, and business should be simple. If business is not simple, then it's complex. If it's complex, it's hard to run, to manage, to operate, to grow. And that's the path that I find that a lot of coaches take. And they end up building something, creating something, designing something that is out of control, and they don't fall in love with it. And I could see there were elements of that in what Mor were doing, and I just simplifies the process. And what we do inside the six-figure mentorship program is that we simplify the process by just, look, we're selling one thing. You're selling one offer. You're selling one offer that's been designed around your effortless natural genius, which is the thing that you do the best, the thing that lights you up, the thing that motivates you, inspires you, around conversations that you just can't wait to have each and every day with the people that like want to have those conversations with you. So effectively you're building, like, if you imagine you have your own campfire and you're just inviting the people to join your campfire with the people that want to join, that want to be there, that want to have the conversations that light them up. And then you're selling that. You've got one delivery method, you've got one high ticket price point, you've got one operational process, and it's what I call the power of one formula, and it just simplifies business, which then that means, like, you've got one hierarchy message, you've got one, what's the word I'm looking for? You've got one marketing message. You've got one conversation that you're having with people inside Messenger. When people come to a conversation on a call, a sales call, you know what they're coming for. So it just simplifies the whole process of building a business, which makes it a lot easier to run, simpler to manage, more fun to operate and to grow. And you're attracting people that want to work with you. So you touched on something that I want to talk about, and I'm pleased you talked about it, because I didn't ask you if you could go there initially. So you mentioned that you sold your car to work with me.
Yeah.
Which that just like shows how much of a rock star you are. It just shows how hungry you are for results. It shows you how determined you are. It shows like the level of commitment that you're willing to play at in order to turn this around and to make it work. Now,
Definitely.
a car for a family, and I know that you've got like a big family, right?
Yeah.
A car is a huge asset to a family, you know, for shopping, day-to-day errands, running people around. You're like, you've got 4 children, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a car is something that like you need, but you were willing to sacrifice the comfort of having a car in order to invest.
Yeah.
And that is huge. That is, because I speak to coaches who have luxury, right? They've got money in the bank. If they haven't got money in their bank, they can pull on money from the credit cards. Or if they don't have credit cards, they can get a loan, and they've been approved for a loan, right? But they don't go ahead. Now that shows me the level of commitment that they have. It shows me the hunger that they have. It shows me the desire that they have to actually make it work. You didn't have any of that.
No.
You didn't have any of that luxury to pull from.
No.
Yet you became resourceful.
Well, that's me.
To make your dream, to make your dreams come true.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that if I expect my client to dive all in, and today I'm not working with clients that are not serious, because I'm not going to, you know, this is something I learned. Again, I'm doing this for 20 years without marketing, just ear to mouth. This is how you say it. Like people are recommending me to others. But when I start marketing, I said, well, you know, people can invest their money in so many things in their lives. But when it comes to personal growth, they don't. They can invest everyone else, but not themselves. And when you start investing in yourself in different ways, then you feel, first of all, you feel better, you love yourself more, and you love the world much better, much more than that, then you have to start investing in yourself. And this is something that I'm doing for a long time. And again, I didn't thought that I'm going to start working with you because I didn't have the money for it. But after our conversation, I said, I have to find a solution. Like, I have to. I need this in order to improve myself and put myself out there. And I need to learn the steps. And I feel, and this is what I felt through our conversation, that you are the person that can teach me how to do that. And I really love the way that you are very simple with what you said. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to sell the car. That's it. And I have to be honest, with the money that I just got for my client, I just bought the new car in the same car. Yeah, the same car. Now it's on payment, but in another 1 or 2 clients, I'm going to close that too. And I knew it's going to happen. I knew that because I'm not going to do such a huge move or a huge step in this, like you said, selling my car that will influence my family, if I'm not going to stand behind this and going to trust myself and trust you in this process that it will succeed. So you have to take a chance on yourself. That's the thing. If you truly believe in that something can help you, you should move forward, trust yourself, trust your intuition, and go for it.
I think that's a huge thing you said there, is trusting yourself that you're going to level up.
Yeah.
And you're going to make it work. Because it's not like you could have come into our container and you could have taken all the strategies, all the processes, all the SOPs, all the materials. Yeah, if you didn't level up and have the courage to actually do the work, then you wouldn't have got the $12,000 client.
Definitely.
So you've got to have faith and trust in yourself that when you invest, that you're going to get started. And I guess I feel as though that's one of the reasons why a lot of coaches again don't, because they've tried things before and they've invested before, but they've never actually stepped up, they've never leveled up, so they don't actually trust themselves to actually do the work.
I have to tell you something that just came to my head. You're working with coaches. And one of the things that I thought, I'm not calling myself a coach, more than a therapist, but it's the same thing. So you're working with people, you're teaching them whatever you're teaching them. And all of us are talking about taking steps forward and doing the work, and et cetera, et cetera. But if you're a coach and you're teaching others to do that and you're not doing that on your own, then you're a fake, because it's not even playing small, it's faking. Because I will not teach someone to take a step forward and overcome, and I had to overcome a lot of things through this process.
Yeah.
It's like I'm hearing stuff from you in our conversation almost every week, and I'm saying okay, but then I'm closing and I'm like, oh shit, I have to do this. You said a few days ago, go live, and I'm like, serious? Okay, I'll do that. And then I sat here with myself, serious, I'm going to do that, I'm not sure, but I did. So you have to jump. And if you're a coach and you're teaching people that, so who are you if you're teaching this and not doing it on your own?
Yeah.
You have to set your own example in order to be authentic with what you're teaching. So that was something that came up.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move forward into the money stuff. And I know it's not all about money for you, which I want to touch on that conversation as well. But let's talk about the money stuff. So prior to you closing this $12,000 client, what were you charging?
5,200
US dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So how do you feel about in fact, you got a $12,000 client, but what's your real price?
Oh, 14,200.
14,200, right?
Yeah.
So you've gone from charging 5,000 to 14,200.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we had that conversation, can you remember how that happened, what we went through, and how you felt with that?
Well, you asked me if I think this is my value, and then I said no. And then you asked me, how much do you think what you're giving is worth. And then I just let the number come up. Well, this is something I practice a lot, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
This is something, connecting to my desires, dreams, my intuition. This is something that I do on a daily basis. So I knew that if I will give myself the opportunity with a question from someone external, then the answer will just come. And the number just came up and I was like, seriously? I'm going to ask, this is what I'm going to charge people? Who has this amount of money? So in Israel, it's like 50,000. It's a lot.
It's
in
huge,
Israel.
right?
It's a lot. It changed in the past month and changed so many things. So I was like, who's going to pay this? And then you said I will say, I'm calling this to the heart, and says, if this is your price, this is what you're worth, then, and you're helping people, then this is the amount of money you should charge. And you totally supported this number.
Mhm.
Like, I think that I could say 20 or 30 and you will say the same thing.
Mhm.
So I think the fact that you didn't judge that number and you didn't put me in a box that a lot of coaches did before, like, don't go overboard, don't ask too much. This is not the average, how do you say it? Average package number that people are charging from your environment. You have to charge. You didn't say all that. You just said, okay, this is your number. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
And that gave me a lot of confidence to go forward and said, he said, I can do that. And he's a businessman. He knows what he's talking about. Then I'm going to charge it. Yeah.
And I think the only reason why I did that, and the only reason why I would do that with clients, is only if the results are worth it.
Yeah.
So if somebody came to me and said, like, this is what I do, and these are the results I produce for a client, and this is the price I'm charging, this is the price I want to charge. If the price doesn't warrant the results that you produce for the person, then I would not recommend that they did that, because they're just not going to generate the sale.
Yeah.
But knowing what you do for your clients and the outcome that you provide for them, and the results that you give them for lifetime, that's a well worth the investment.
Definitely. Yeah.
So let's take time back let's go to the call, right? Let's revisit that call. You're on this conversation, you're having a conversation, sales conversation with this potential client, and you're getting to the end of the call where it's time to position your offer and state the fee. Leading up to that conversation, that part of the conversation, how was you feeling?
Well, there was a master class, I think it was a few weeks ago. You said a sentence that, because after our conversation about the money, I had really problem to reach out to people and say that.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, nobody has that money. And you said in one of the videos, you never know who your client is. You never know how much he has in his bank, and you never know how much he's starving for this transformation in his life. So
Right.
you don't know. So first of all, just offer. And the second thing you said, and that was truly important, that it's not about me. It's about my service to that person. So when I started the conversation, I rehearsed the numbers. I said 14,200, that's in 3 payments, or you can have in 24 hours in 1 payment, and that will reduce the number for 12. And so I rehearsed that because I wanted to be very fluent when I'm saying that to the client.
Sure.
But I always also said, I'm gonna meet a person she's actually my ideal client. Like we talked about, you helped me really focus myself on that avatar client. And she's exactly that person. So I invite her into my conversation knowing that I can help her for sure. And I can actually give her some value, whether she's gonna take this package or not.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about me. I didn't think about myself. I didn't think about the money at all. I just thought how I can help this woman, and to truly listen to her and to see if this can work, if she has what it takes to work with me, because I go very deep. And the life are changing. So that demands a lot of persistence in this process. So I did that. In the end of the call, I was like, okay, I have 5 minutes for the end of the call. I have to make a sale. And this is something that I always like, okay, so yeah, talk to me if you want to. Yeah, sure. Feeling awkward to ask money. And this is so childhood from my position right now, that you are scared to ask what you deserve. So I don't know, it was just natural. And then I just said it, if you want to work with me, this is the amount of money, this is how long it's going to take. These are the details in 2 minutes, so simple. She understood everything. And then she said, okay, so it's only about deciding between the payment, full price, or the 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get back to you. I said, sure, no problem. An hour later, she texted me, and 2 days later, the money was there. Yeah. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
I think you dropped some real golden nuggets there. When it comes to sales, it's not about us. When it comes to pricing, again, it's not about us. We talked about it earlier on in the conversation, but so many people make it about them, and they get onto sales conversation and they want to quote a figure, and the build up to the end of the call where they know they're going to state that price point, they've got a figure in their mind, but they start doubting whether this person is going to afford it. They've got the money in the account. Scared of feeling judged for being such high ticket prices, for being money hungry, and all these crazy things that go off in the head. So right at the last minute, they don't step into the power, and in fact, they go into scarcity mode and they quote a different fee. And I love how the conversation that you were having with yourself, I love how you stepped into that. You understood that, again, this is ideal dream client. You know the value they're bringing to their world, and whether they choose to accept or to decline, that's their choice. But it's your prerogative, it's your duty to actually step up and bring them through to the finishing line, right? And state the full price. What that they're worth investing in, the results that you produce is worth investing in, and you're also worth that investment as well.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you. You mentioned something about the strategy that you used, which I want to just talk a little bit about that. And this is a strategy that obviously I gave you, and it's part of the one of the trainings that I give clients, and it's what I call paid in full strategy. So if right now you're not getting as many paid in full clients, then this is a strategy that it obviously works. It's worked for more. Do you want to talk us around that, and just talk us around it?
What's the question?
So the paid in full strategy. So your full price is like 14,200.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so the price is 14,200. When we start talking about the pricing, then I thought about if people has the opportunity to pay in payments and how many payments. I used to give 12 payments to people. Like everyone is poor and I have to save everyone. Bad point of view. But when you start working, you said, listen, you have a price, and then you will give them a good offer on that price. That's it. There's no other options. And in the beginning, it was like, what? But you have to give people options. You never know what they can do or pay in this amount and who has this amount of money, et cetera, et cetera. And you said, listen, people are paying and buying things all the time. So this is your price. This is your discount if they pay full. This is it. There's no other options. And it makes things so simple for the client. It's like you're giving them two options. It's not even a third option of not closing.
Yeah.
So it worked. That's simple.
Right.
Yeah, it's just working.
I think, and again, it goes back to overcomplicating things. And if your prospective client if it's hard for them to make a decision, if you bring to the table too many options, then they've got a get out clause. They've got to let me think about it. There's all these options. Let me think about what's going to work best for me. The mind's going off on a little bit of a tangent. If you just bring to the table one option, this is the price. And then it is, right? Then you can give them, if they're willing to invest, go all in, then there's a fast action discount price, which saves them whatever the saving is, whether it's $2,000, $1,500, right? Which gets them off the fence. They save money. They get an amazing opportunity to work with you and to get the results that you produce. If they can't accept that fast action price, then the price is the price. The first price is the price. But once you've exhausted that, then you can actually go into, well, we do have a part payment if necessary. But I know a lot of coaches, they'll state the price and then they'll suddenly just go into the part payment option, and they're just making it overcomplicated because they're putting too many options on the table for the prospect.
I think
they've already got too many things to think about.
Yeah, and I think also what it gives a client is the sense that you are not sure at your price when you give too much pricing, when you over talk. Oh, there's another thing that I learned through your videos, and that you said in the portal. I mean, you said something like, you don't have to speak so much. Like, say what you need to say, and then let the other person, your client, your potential client, just react. I used to wobble, like, this is the price, but if you don't, and all of that gave the client the notion that I'm not sure in what I'm giving. I'm not standing behind my price, and that just made them confused. But when I said that, and then I just quiet. So she had to step up and say if she wants this or not.
I think all the way through the sales conversation, brevity is key. Less is more. Less is more powerful. In fact, if you're speaking more than the prospect, then you're not in control. So perfect. Thank you for sharing all that with me. Okay, so let's come to a close. What would you say has been your experience throughout our journey together so far?
Wow. First of all, it's good. That's the first experience. Feels good. Feel confident. Feel that I have the tools to move forward. Again, I got many tools before, but there's something in the way that you teach that is so simple and accessible, especially for people that are not in the market industry, and they're not really, it's not really easy for them to put themselves out there. So you made it really simple and really easy for me. And the steps are in the way that I can really go one step at a time, finish that and move to the next. And it's bring a lot of clarity into the work, which makes everything just simple. I'm not terrified when I have to come to do what I have to do. So it was and it's still, we're in the beginning of the process. I'm really glad that I sold my car. It's fun. It's fun. And I have to say that I know I'm not, it's not something that I do to say many good words in front of that person. And I know there are people watching and will watch this. But you're a really, really good teacher. Seriously.
I'll take
because
that.
You're not pushing. And sometimes I need space. I had my two older kids just got into the army, and I had this week and a half that I didn't do anything. I was like driving myself crazy. And you left a message and you said like, hey, take your time. Nothing's going to happen. Just do what you have to do. And no one ever coached. Everybody just like, you have to push, and you just let things be, you know. And that's a really something that really helped me through this journey. Yeah, I'm really grateful. You know that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely welcome. So one last question. How do you feel about the level of support and accessible to me?
Wow, that's 100%. That's like, I can reach you every day, including Sundays. I know you're not working, but you're still answering, because in Israel you work on Sunday. And I'm like, you know, I'm texting you and sending you voice message, and you actually answer every day in a couple of hours, or, you know, even less than that. And you offered, if I forget, if I'm stuck, you understand, you say, hey, just let's book a call and let's do this together. And you go step by step with me, and you're really walking with me this path. And this is huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Again, thank you.
Excellent. No, thank you. Thank you for being the client you are and the person that you are. Okay, guys. So I'm going to wrap up now. I know it's Mor's mum's birthday today, so she's going to be going off and celebrating that with the family. So we're going to wrap up. Just one last invitation, right? Or an invitation. If you resonate with any of the conversation that we've had today, if you feel as though, you know, what you're doing is not working, yeah, you've got a powerful message that you want to share with the world. You've got expertise that you want to share with the world. You know, there's people suffering in the world with a problem that you can solve, and you want to step up to play a bigger game, to create a business, to create a coaching business that's going to allow you to build the dreams that you want, but simultaneously as well serve the people that are struggling with the problems that you can solve. Then there's an invitation to send me a direct message. Send me a direct message. Let's have a free and easy conversation inside Messenger. And then if I feel as though, you know what, there's a possibility of me being able to shine a light on the path that you need to take in order for you to move forward, then I'll invite you to a call. Very, very similar to you know, more the way the shadow conversation on a call. That is when we don't use pushy sales tactics. You either step up or you don't. You either accept the invitation. If there is an invitation to work with me, either accept it or you don't. There's no hard sell you know, tactics to actually get you working. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you to build a business that you're currently struggling to build. So maybe you're new and you want to get started, or you're actually already an existing coach, like Mor, coaching for over 20 years, but things are just not working, then that's an invitation for you as well. Okay, so thanks for everybody that watched this, that showed up. If there's any questions underneath this, I haven't had time to go in and look, but I will get back to you. If you're catching this on a replay, any questions, just ask those underneath this, and again, I'll get back to you later on. Mor, thank you again, and I'll look forward to our next private one-to-one call soon.
Yeah.
Wish you Mum happy birthday, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Thank you, Andy.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Okay.